Mama Marcus. Be a part of the world unfolding stories at 3 p.m. on ADBN, channel 258 on DSTV, and Star Times, channel 140. Global Digest, your window to the world's current affairs, only on Advocate Broadcasting Network.
All right, thanks for being there. And we're still discussing infidelity in relationship. And I have with me Dr. Mfo Neme. Oh, let's go on and take some reactions from the social media. And when we come back, Doctor will react to them also. Okay, so we have this tweet here from Tina M. And she says that the only concern about cheating is that it breaks the trust between the two of you. Even if you forgive him, you will never look at him the same way. The relationship is ruined. And this other one says, this is Trey and Lee, Stronger Marriage. She says, if your spouse is uncomfortable with a relationship you have with someone of the opposite sex, you should respect that. 93% of affairs begin with a simple friendship. Your loyalty should be to your spouse above all others. They can often see things you can't. And the next one, also from the same Trey and Liz. Emotional adultery is connecting with another person emotionally, and then you find yourself locking your spouse out of your phone or deleting texts so they can't see your conversation. This is cheating. You know.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And I think 3 or 4 of them now, they're all correct. All of them are correct. That is true.
You know, I want to talk about this Trey and Lee's second tweet here, where she says, if your wife or your husband is uncomfortable with a relationship you're keeping with someone outside an opposite sex kind of relationship, you should cut it off. But some persons will tell you, okay, even if that relationship, it's my colleague, she's my colleague, we do work together, she's just calling to find out how I'm doing, we're just talking, you know, jobs and all that. You know, some persons will say that, and then the relationship continues. But you know, women, we see, just like she rightly say, we see what they don't see in the relationship. So what's your take on this?
Yeah, no, it is true. But I also want to add that, fine, if you feel this relationship more is the one outside should continue, be able to convince your spouse. Your spouse should be convinced. Remember that there are people who are paranoid. You may be unlucky to marry a man who is paranoid, a woman who is paranoid. That one, those people, they live in suspicion. They suspect everything. That's how they are. Because suspiciousness is a symptom of paranoia. So those who have paranoid personality, what they do is that they suspect you of every movement. They suspect. They don't even want to stand with another person. It's in them. That's how they are. That's how they will be tomorrow. So such persons, if you follow them, then you're going to destroy every other relationship you have in life. So there must be a way of convincing them, letting them know that, come, this is why I relate with this person. This is why I relate with this person. This is why I relate with this person. Okay? But then also remember that, yes, you should cut it off. But if you cut it off, what if that is your job? I've seen somebody who has lost a job, a lady who has lost a job because the husband is paranoid and he's suspecting her of all the people in the office. Now she's back in the house. The husband is not working. She's not working.
Oh, goodness.
So what has the children, everybody is suffering in the family because of this paranoia, this symptom that we see every day in people. And we keep saying, instead of suffering and dying in silence, bring your husband. Let's see whether we can help him overcome that paranoia. If not necessarily overcoming it, at least bring it down, curb that paranoia in your spouse. Well, otherwise, you're going to lose so many things. Some people, after some time, you have to choose between your job and the marriage.
Wow.
Yesterday I was on radio and I said there are people who have been given that option as of today. Choose between your husband, this marriage, and this job. And you know that as a woman, this is a job that is feeding this family. Let's be direct here. It's helping you, it's helping your siblings, it's helping every other person around you, and it's even helping this marriage. And the man, because the man has a paranoid personality, he's telling you that every phone call is suspecting you with everybody.
Wow.
One, he will suspect you with your brother. You know, suspecting with everybody. So what do you do in that case? It's a dilemma. There may be no one straight answer to it. You have to decide whether to continue with the relationship or continue with the job. We find such cases.
All right, so now let's talk about mental health. You know, how does infidelity affect the impact of infidelity on the cheated partner?
On the cheated partner. Yeah. We get into a relationship on trust. In most cases, you don't marry your brother, you don't marry your sister. You marry a strange person. But what drives you is that you trust that this person, I'm going to spend my life with you. I trust him, I trust her. So you empty your life, empty your body, empty everything into the hands of this one person. You trust him. And sometimes, in the course of letting, we have given each other promises, not just the one they make on the pulpit. To me, that one they make on the pulpit is just, it's good to make it actually. But the ones you may have made promises to each other at the point of privacy. Good. Now, so with that, you grow and you trust and you trust. So immediately you notice that infidelity, that trust crumbles, that trust collapses. Immediately it comes down. It collapses. It comes down. So one major thing it does is that it brings down trust. And then the next thing is that the other partner, who is now, I want to say, the victim now, may develop psychological results. In fact, I've managed such patients a few times in my life. One actually, when she discovered that the husband had another wife outside, she didn't know. She didn't know. You know, she had a thing, she had a business. Her husband was managing the business. Your wife started it. Her husband took over and was managing it, running it, was everything. But wasn't that money to rent a house from that woman, had children from that woman? And I don't know why he had to send the children of that woman to the same school of this one. And they never knew. Until the boy from the first wife saw the name looked alike. So they became friends. They became friends in class, they became friends, they didn't know. Until one day, whatever happened, they said, I'll bring the picture of my father and my mother. So the girl brought the picture of her father.
Oh, goodness.
And the mother. And it was the same father. So the boy collected the picture home. The mother broke, she how do you call this condition? The trauma, she almost became schizophrenic. She almost became mad. And the trauma lasted for so long. Her manager at UCH. And then she said that the painful thing about it is that everybody knew about the relationship except she, even her sister knew it, but she said they never told her. That was the thing that even killed her most. But even her own sister knew that the other was keeping another family. And she never knew for over 10 years. She never knew. That woman almost died. She almost died.
How do you manage such a
I don't know how they manage. And the other one was not going, the money she fed that woman with the clothes, you know, and the clothes on the picture, the clothes that the picture the boy brought, they have the same picture, the same clothes in this other family.
Really?
They have the same clothes with these other children here. They have the same clothes with these other children and the wife too. That woman, you need to have seen her. She didn't know herself again. So the that thing is that the woman will slump, the other partner will slump into depression, anxiety, distrust, guilt, everything. Start asking herself, what did I do wrong? What did I not do that I could have done? Or what should I have done that I should not have? What did
you do that I should not have done?
You know, many things will come into the head. So you become worried, anxiety, depression, then PTSD, the shock. That first shock that you get may leave you with post-traumatic stress disorder throughout your lifetime. That anytime they mention something like that, it strikes your mind. It reminds you of the first day you got the information. Then the issue of distrust then will be that even if you forgive the person, once in a while, if you see the person with another woman, for example, you say the first thing that came into this has carry face like this one. That one don't come again. You know, even if it's actually a clean, plain relationship, you might still be holding to the other experience that you had with him. It might not be that, and then it might also bring doubt about the paternity or the maternity of the children. That's another problem. You may say, who owns these children? Who owns these children? Are you sure they are my children? Okay. In the case if this woman, are you sure they are my children? Or you might start also. I have this. I don't know if you saw. There was something that went viral 1-2 years ago. That in a seminar, marriage center, we said, okay, send a text to your wife. Tell your wife now. It was only for men. Send a text to your wife. Tell your wife, I love you. Let's see what the wife will reply. So every man they send a text to his wife and said, I love you, I love you. Then send back, let me see. More than 6%. One wife said, have you imprinted another woman too?
Okay.
Okay? And then that one said, are you going to ask me for money again today? And that one said, is this one a new thing? You know? Because, you know, they've had these cases of infidelity all over the place. And so it's like the last time the husband told I love her was when the husband impregnated a girl and it became an issue. So now that she sees another text, I love you. Oh, have you beaten another girl?
Okay, so now we know the destruction this infidelity does on marriages and relationships. Now let's talk about healing. When partners, when this kind of a thing happens, how do the people involved heal from this kind of a thing?
Now, understand that you don't marry a perfect husband. Understand that your wife is not perfect. Nobody is perfect. And so always make room in your mind for forgiveness. I don't encourage it at all, but make room in your mind for forgiveness. Number 2, drop wrong orientations, strict, stringent orientation, the bamboo thinking orientation, that things must always be the way you think. It may not always be that straight every time. Then the issue of everything reporting to family. Reporting, my father must say, my elder brother must say, my uncle must say, my family head must say this. We need to drop, because sometimes you tell your elder brother, you tell your family head, my wife has gone, my husband has done this. It might help you to worsen the situation for you. The information that comes from those guys may not help this relationship. So I encourage that sometimes you drop those things. You drop them. Then if you have sustained a psychological problem, like maybe you have developed depression, you have slumped into depression, it's important that you may come out, confess, let's see how to help you. Because we psychologists have done a few of such works. I'm still doing a few very close to us here and all over the place. Now, we're able to see whether we can help you come out of it. Because if you die, some people die because of depression. Of course, remember that one of the symptoms of depression is suicidal ideation, suicide. It's a symptom. There are some people that, because their partners have cheated on them, they commit suicide. As a matter of fact, some have even become overly schizophrenic. They remove clothes and walk naked in the street because their husbands have cheated on them. So it's important that if you notice that you are cheated and you are unable to overcome the trauma, please come out, let's talk about it. We may be able to offer 1 or 2 suggestions and all of that, psychoeducation and psychotherapy that may help you come out of it.
Okay, but in a situation where these extremes didn't happen, like there was no depression.
Okay. The person is managing. How
do you heal from that?
No. The person may still need to come out because you are not. Are you able to manage it? Are you able to overcome the impact on you? You are just, in our society, in most cases we say, don't tell anybody, fine. Provided you're able to manage it. Are you able to cope with the reality facing you now? If you're able to cope, no problem. But if you're not able to cope, it's important that you talk to somebody. It's important that you don't keep it totally to yourself. It's important that you mention it to somebody that you may trust. You might not necessarily be a psychologist, maybe somebody, but then many people don't do marriage counseling well. There's some people that in the course of telling him your problem, he destroys your relationship. And the person that now destroys your relationship, it's not as if his own relationship or her own relationship is better than yours.
Better, exactly.
Okay, so you be careful who you talk to, actually.
Yeah, you know, there's this stories where they say most therapists, marriage therapists and marriage experts, relationship experts, don't have good relationships.
Yeah,
they are all from...
Maybe some of them don't have.
Many of them are from broken homes. You know, probably it was when the whole thing went south, they realized. They
would have learned it the hard way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I've had a client who told me, if I knew what I know today, I wouldn't have left that man. I would have married him. But I've already left up to maybe more than 10 years, more than 5 years. But if I knew what I know now, I would have married that same man and gotten the result. But it's late at that point. Because the man, according to her, had married another person, you know, and then she wasn't going to go back. She couldn't stand it to go back. And then,
okay, so now let's talk about how families can strengthen bonds, you know, to prevent infidelity.
Good. One is to make conscious effort to becoming close to your spouse. Make conscious effort. Don't take it for granted. Make conscious effort. Be close to him. Talk to him. Send him text messages on your own. Send him WhatsApp messages. Send him your pictures. Be the one doing it. Let him also do it. Don't give that gap. Be the one doing it. I know I've met women who have come to me to say, I've done that for this relationship. I'm the one keeping it. I'm tired. You begin to let it break. I'm tired. a man that should be doing it, I'm not the one that should be doing it. I tell them, it's your marriage. It belongs, own the marriage. Don't make it look as if it's your husband's marriage. Own it. So whatever it will cost you to have this marriage good, let it cost you. Put in your best to make sure that the relationship works. Put in your best and make sure that it works. Whatever it's going to cost you, be available for your husband. And then whatever your husband complains about sex, look at it. Your sexual intimacy, whatever your husband complains, look at it. Some people complain about it. And of course, that's why I keep telling people, you should marry somebody that there should be nothing you cannot tell your husband. There should be nothing you cannot tell your wife. You should not marry somebody, you should not marry an official husband. You should marry somebody you can tell him everything. Okay, if your wife is complaining of sexual dissatisfaction, look at it. Give a thought to it. If your husband is complaining, give a thought to it. Don't say I'm not in the mood. Don't say I'm not in the mood. No, be in the mood. Okay. Hey, talk about it.
Doctor say be in the mood. Okay.
Whatever he's complaining.
Okay.
Don't think he's just complaining. Because that thing he's complaining now, he may find it outside. That one thing may be the thing that takes him out. So try to look at what he's complaining about to make sure that you work on those things that he's complaining. Some may not only be sex that takes him out. It may be food. It may even be food. Somebody says that you pass through the stomach of a man to his heart. That is from the stomach of the man that you get to his heart. Some may be food. A particular food your husband likes, you cannot cook. And you tell him that we don't go there. In my culture, we don't cook that kind of food. Especially if you marry from different cultures, we don't know how to cook that kind of food. I say, no, learn it. Learn it. The same thing with your husband. Sorry, with the man. Your wife is complaining of particular. No, learn it. Then the issue of treatment, ill treatment, ill nagging, from both ends now. Your husband is complaining, I don't like the way you talk. I don't like the way you talk. You say, that's how I talk my own. That's how we talk in my place. That's how we do it. May take you out of, may make the man to go outside. It may make, or the man to go outside. Some people are just hard, difficult husband, difficult wives. No. Be married. Own up your marriage. Let it become your own marriage. Own it. Do everything to make sure it works. Even if it means becoming a fool and make sure it works. Whatever it will cost you to matter, become a fool and make sure it works. They may call you woman rapper, yes. After all, what are you? Are you not a woman rapper? Man handbag, yes. Are you not? Whatever they call you, let them call you, provided you have a peaceful home. Because of all that we do in life, all these things we are doing, finally you go back home, isn't it? Finally you retire home. So make the home to be good, make the marriage to be good. And of course, another problem is this. If now that you are still maybe young a little, you cannot make it fine. At old age, the gap will become wider. And at that old age, you will need each other more than you could have needed. And now, if you are not there for each other, if there was no emotional attachment when you were growing up in the relationship, at old age, at the age of 60, 65, 70, God keeping both of you alive, you will suffer loneliness in marriage. You will suffer loneliness in marriage because normally, before you are about 60, if other things being equal, you should suffer what we call emptiness syndrome. Everybody is supposed to have emptiness syndrome at that age. That is, your children would have left you. All your children should have left you. So you are now left with this woman alone or this man alone. So the best you do is, now that you are still growing up, make sure that intimacy is there. You will not be able to build new intimacy at the age of 70.
That's true.
You wouldn't be able to build new intimacy at that point. You would have grown, at that point you would have stabilized. You become knitted to each other. That you can stay, even if your children are not in the house, two of you can manage yourselves, provided you are strong, you can stand up, or God help you, if facilities are in the house, you can stand up, go and sit down together and eat and chat. Your children, you don't expect your children to live with you. It's not a show of wealth, it's not a show of responsibility. So all of us should make up our minds for emptiness syndrome. That our children will all live us. So you come back, the emptiness is when the bird comes back to bring food, he doesn't see the baby again. So he will drop the food and no baby is there to eat again. We all suffer emptiness syndrome. So but tell me, make up your mind that treat the woman, treat your husband, treat your spouse well. Because when all the children are grown up and they leave you, you will stay back with him alone. So treat him well, treat her well. Make sure you keep her, make sure you keep him, to make sure that when he is not there, when the children are not there again, you have both of you have each other. You have each other.
Doctor, you've said so much. The other day I listened to a woman talking where she said, while we were still young, you were there chasing beautiful women and then you didn't look at me. Now we are old. I want to enjoy myself now, and now you are sick. You want me to come stay here and take care of you.
Yes. Yeah.
And when she was saying, people were criticizing her, but when you look at what she was saying, she had her own bad times when she was much younger. The man took her for granted. Oh well, but then are there societal, influences? This society do that actually encourage infidelity?
Yes, some societies encourage it.
Okay.
They say, that's normal of a man to go out. In fact, if your husband goes out, you go and tell your father or your mother that my husband went and said, you didn't know? Oh, I'm sorry, man, I didn't tell you that one. Oh, sorry, I've told you. That's a man for you. That's a man for you. Oh, sorry. Oh, I didn't know. Your father used to go out too. Are you?
All right, doctor.
Your father used to go out for the first time.
Goodness.
Your father used to go out. Sorry, my daughter. Oh, I didn't tell you. Go back home. Go back to your family. Go back to your husband. That's what you see in men. In other words, society validates it. They validate infidelity. Most societies do it. African society, Western society, most societies validate infidelity. They find justification for it. Okay? Some will even tell you that that's what women are doing now. Don't mind. That's what women are doing. All women are doing it.
They say as far as it comes home to you, no problem.
No problem. Right here, you've got the language. Price comes home. They take him when he's home. Just know that your husband is husband when he's in the house. When he's outside, don't take him for your husband. Make up your mind.
All right, doctor, we have to go. Any final thoughts or advices?
Yeah, just to say that infidelity is not good, no matter who does it. We should all try to stop it. It's not a good thing. No woman likes it, no man tolerates it. Therefore, if you know that, what if you know that if your wife, I've made men that say infidelity, say, I ask one, if your wife goes out, he said, God forbid, I will sack her. But he himself is keeping girls outside. I said, now, don't you think that she will feel the same way like you feel now that you go out, if she knows it? He said, well, I'm a man, I want to say no to that. No woman likes infidelity. No man tolerates infidelity. So let everyone, let all of us work towards stopping it. Let the society not validate it. Let all of us rise together and condemn infidelity. It is not good at all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ineme, for coming on the show today.
Thank you
It's
so
always an
much.
impactful one whenever we have you on the studio.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much, viewers, for being a part of the show. Infidelity is a complex issue, and that was why we had to tread with care when we're discussing it. It's very sensitive. But I hope you learned one or two things from the doctor, because I did. Thank you so much for being a part of the show today. From me,